You want to face Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders? That's my question.
I'll tell you, I was all set for Bernie because I thought it was going to happen. You know, we get ready for things, right? So mentally, I'm all set for Bernie. Communist, I had everything down. He's a communist. I was all set. And then we have this crazy thing that happened, right, on Tuesday, which he thought was Thursday.
Mr. President, at the outset of the coronavirus, your administration's response seemed to some as being confusing or minimizing. What plans are being considered on a federal level for the possibility of a long-term disruption from the novel coronavirus?
One of the things I did is I closed down the borders to China and to other areas that are very badly affected and really having a lot of troubles. And that's why we have only right now 11, it's a lot of people, but it's still 11 people versus tremendous numbers of thousands of people that have died all over the world. We have 11.
Some of your critics are saying, well, you know, President Trump has also gone after liberal judges, and that
you mean they're blaming me for Schumer?
No, well, they're saying that, you know, that he came out.
That was a real intimidation. And the best you can say is they're trying to intimidate so that the judges vote, so the justices vote their way. That's no good either. But that was a physical, that was really, if a Republican did what Schumer did, they'd be in jail right now.
You are really the typical voter. I think you are a lifelong Democrat who crossed over and voted for President Trump in 2016 in areas like we are in right now in Luzerne and Lackawanna County. So, you know, obviously now Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders, whoever it is going to try to get your vote back. So I'm curious, is there anything that or any issue that they could answer for you that would change your mind, do you think?
I'm focused on the economy and on regulation and deregulation, and I like what's happened in the country in the last 4 years. And
Thank you.
Thankful for your efforts, sir, and I hope we can continue on that.
I think they thought you were going to give them a different answer.
No, I wanted to hear because I do think it's very...
That sounded like a setup question.
No.
But David, you're my man.
I wanted... You know what?
So when you look at it, she did him no favors. That was not a good friendship. That was not, we started to see that during the debates, by the way. That one became unhinged.
Yeah.
But you know, if she would have gone out, she didn't even have to endorse him. If she just dropped out of the race without an endorsement, he would have won a tremendous number of states that he lost. You know, he lost states by not very much. And she got enough votes that it would have made a big difference. I think he would be leading by a lot right now had she not been in the race. So it was a fake impeachment. And it was a whole fake deal. And everybody knows that. I made a phone call. It was a perfect phone call. There was nothing wrong with it. And they said, let's impeach. As you look at the Sun, here's a guy, didn't have a job, was unfortunately, sadly, the military was a very sad experience for him. He goes out, he gets $3 million plus $183,000 a month to be a board member of a company that a lot of people said was corrupt. Mini Mike Choke. When Mini Mike was hit by a very mean woman, he said, get me off this stage, just get me off. And that wasn't a pretty sight.
Republicans have failed to come up with an alternative plan to Obamacare. How do you plan to rally the Republicans around a plan, and what would be included in that?
We want to terminate Obamacare because it's bad. Look, we're running it really well, but we know it's defective. It's very defective. We got rid of the worst part. And that was a very important thing. You know, getting rid of the individual mandate was a very important thing. But we want to get something. If we can get the House, you'll have the best health care and health insurance anywhere on the planet.
How are you going to control the illegal immigration without support from the Democratic Party? We
have ended catch and release. We have right now 27,000 Mexican soldiers on our border, and we have the best numbers that we've had in many, many months. We've had, I guess it's now 9 or 10 months where the numbers are way down, and we're going to keep them down. But we need the wall. And most importantly, the wall is way under construction. We're up to 129 miles already. We will have, by early next year, almost 500 miles of wall. And once we have that wall, it's going to stop drugs. It's going to stop big percentages of everything coming in. When I became president, I was told by President Obama, sitting in the Oval Office in probably our only meeting, essentially, you know, that was enough for me. But I was told...
And you haven't talked to him since?
I was at the funeral of President Bush, sat next to him, and I said, hello, And then I said, goodbye. That's about it. The bottom line is I have a very good relationship with him. I cannot guarantee anything, but for 3 years, we've spent nothing. We're getting sanctions, and we're not in war with North Korea, which is not bad. I pulled him out. We were securing the border between Turkey and Syria. I said, why are we doing that? Turkey's big, Syria's fine. Let them fight their own battles. What are we doing with our soldiers? Getting people killed to secure.
We are so divided as a country. I have family members who do not speak to me and recently was told, if you support Trump, you are no longer part of my life. How are you going to bring us together?
I really believe we're going to win this next election. And when we do, the other side's going to say, okay, that's it. Let's get along.
What about your old life? Is there any little thing that you miss about your old life?
I miss that sort of free life. This is not a free life. But I love what we're doing because we're accomplishing more than anybody's ever. I'm viewing it as we're saving this country. This country was going wrong.
Who is your closest friend in Washington?
I get along great with our vice president. I keep hearing I'm replacing him. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's a great guy and a loyal guy, and he works so hard. And it's going to come together. It's going to come together, and it's going to be sooner than you think.